Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. I have been slacking on my filming game lately, but I have a new work from home job and I usually film videos during nap time. However, lately I've been working during nap time, so it's kind of hard to find time to film videos for you guys. Today I am filming one all about my postpartum must-have / tips. And I want to preface this by saying, if you're having a hospital birth, then ask your hospital what they provide to you during your hospital stay, and what you're allowed to take home with you. Most hospitals allow you to take the pads, the peri bottle, all that stuff with you home. They don't usually have a problem with that because, let's be honest guys, you're paying for it anyway, so you might as well take it home with you. And my hospital personally does provide the pads, the peri bottle, the Tux pads, and then these beautiful boy short things. These are from my second. I kept them because I thought I was going to use them, and I didn't end up using them all. But yeah, these giant things, they provide to you too. And yeah, so that's everything that they're providing for me. So just call and make sure, or just ask what they're going to be providing you, and then you can go ahead and make your postpartum list from there. And I want to start off with this giant guy that I'm very excited for. So this is the Freedom Mom Postpartum Recovery Essentials Kit. It was actually bought for me from my best friend Stephanie for my baby brunch sprinkle, I guess you could say. I haven't even opened it yet. I was waiting to do it on camera with you guys. But yes, so there's that. And if you are not a mom and you're pregnant with your first baby, I just want to give you a little warning that there's a lot going on, okay? There's a lot going on. You bleed a whole lot, way more than I feel is fair, because you just push out a whole human, and now basically your body hasn't had a period for 10 months and it's shedding everything inside. I feel like it's the worst with your first baby, definitely. My second one, the bleeding was a lot more manageable, and I feel like ended a lot sooner than it did with my first. But yeah, just so you're prepared, there's gonna be a lot of mess. So the nice thing about this kit is that you don't have to get a basket or anything for all your stuff, because it's already here. That's the cute thing about this, is that I literally can just put this whole thing on top of my toilet and then it's ready for me and it's all set to go. So your setup in the hospital, at least, is going to be one of these beautiful things, and then they're going to give you the cooling maxi pad, and then on top of that you'll put the Tux pads, or the these cooling pad liners you can get too. You can put that on top. And then they also give you dermaplast. So basically how it works is you go to the back. We'll just pretend this is my peri bottle, since I don't have one on me at the moment. So you take your peri bottle, you squirt water everywhere down there, because you do not wipe. Trust me, don't wipe, it'll burn. So you wash everything, and then you kind of just pat it dry. And then after that you get your boy shorts, and then you get your giant pad to go in there, and then you can either put the Tux pads or the perennial pad liners on top, and then you have all of that against your hoo-ha. And that's usually the hospital setup. I hate these things. They are, like, it's not even that they're not cute, they're just not practical. They're so uncomfortable, and I have no idea why the hospital gives you pads without wings, because then it just moves and everything. Ugh. Anyway, so since these are so loose, it doesn't really keep that pad in place, if you know what I mean. So these are just super annoying and uncomfortable. But yeah, so anyway, back to this kit. That's kind of the setup that they have for you in the hospital. So this kit is nice because it comes with the cooling, what are they called? Perennial cooling pad liners, which is very nice. And they are the size of a wipe. So it'll fit the entirety and fit your hoo-ha all the way to the back. These I'm excited for because they're the boy shorts. I guess we'll, oh, that did not open. We'll open them together and see. I'm very excited for these because I've heard very good things about these. I might get some extra, we'll see. So I'm gonna bring these to the hospital with me because look at that. Like, do you see how one, it's a little more structured, and two, it's way higher up. So just a comparison. So it goes way higher up over your belly, and honestly, when you give birth, you're a little jiggly, okay? You just pushed out a human, your stomach's still stretched, your organs are still shifting. So the fact that it goes up just makes things so much more comfortable. Like, I'm very excited for this. So I might bring these to the hospital with me instead of having to deal with those terrible things. But yeah, super excited for these because I've heard nothing but great things about them. This pack in particular comes with 4 of them, but like I said, you can buy them individually. So I think I'm gonna buy a few more of them and call it a day. But yeah, so the boy shorts come in here as well. And then you have these, which are the Instant Ice Maxi Pads. So these are pretty big and obnoxious. But yeah, so you can just have your boy shorts and put this right in, and then the witch hazel pad liner on top, and you'll be good to go. And it comes with 4 of these, I believe. Yeah, so there's 4 of these in here as well. And honestly, in my humble opinion, you don't need the ice packs after like the first, I would say 12 hours. Those first hours after birth is when everything's really sensitive and swollen down there, but after that your body kind of like cools down. So I don't think you need too many of those, but that's just my humble opinion. And then it also comes with this perennial healing foam, which I guess is the equivalent of Dermaplast. I know Dermaplast numbs everything down there. This says cooling pain relief from vag to tush. Oh, that's nice. So if you end up getting hemorrhoids too, then you can just rub some from front to back. I think it'll be nice to try. So that's what comes in here. And like I said, it's this cute little carrying case. And then there's also a spot if you buy their upside down Freedom Mom Perry bottle, there's a spot for that right here. I'm just gonna put the one I get from the hospital there. And 2, the reason why I'm not buying the upside down one is because 1, the hospital is giving me one, and 2, we have a bidet attachment on our toilet. So I also have that as well if I feel like the Perry bottle is not sufficient enough. If you guys don't have a bidet attachment, highly recommend. But yeah, so the Perry bottle, when I come home from the hospital, I'll just stick it right there and that'll be good to go. So I feel like that's a pretty important, those are the pretty big important things. Moving on to breastfeeding. If you're planning on breastfeeding, then I would recommend getting a good nipple butter. You can try Silverettes if you want. I've never tried those, but I have heard moms say good things about them, and basically you use them when you're not feeding, and the silver kind of like helps calm your nipples down. Because honestly, the nipple pain when your nipples are getting used to breastfeeding is terrible. Okay, so I have this Organic Mama nipple butter. I've never tried this one specifically. I've tried other ones before, but this one's just olive oil, cocoa seed butter, shea butter, mango butter, and calendula flower extract, and beeswax. So it's all organic. And if you're looking for a nipple cream, the hospital does give you one, but usually the one they provide has lanolin in it. And lanolin is actually not safe for babies to consume. So if you're using the one that the hospital gives you, you have to make sure that you're wiping it off entirely before you go to feed the baby. And this one, you don't have to worry about if there's some left over and the baby, you know, drinks it with the milk and stuff, which just, you know, gives me more peace of mind. So I'm actually bringing this one with me to the hospital as well. But yeah, so a good nipple butter or Silverettes or something. I know Freedom Mom also makes these cooling breast pads. So you can use them hot or cold, I believe. So they help with not only calming down your nipples, but like your breasts. When your milk first comes in, you're super swollen and engorged. So they have those that you can add and try out too. So yeah, there's that one. And then the next thing I would recommend is some sort of breast pads. So I have these and reusable ones. I couldn't find my reusable ones. They're somewhere in my house. So I just have these. These are from the brand Lancino, I believe. And it's easy. You just take it out, pop it in your boob, and it soaks up any leaking, especially if like you're out and about. The last thing you want to do is leak through your shirt. So the first few days of when your supply is regulating and all that, these are super helpful to have, so you could just stick them in your bra and not have to worry about that. So next thing I would recommend is to have a super comfortable nursing bra. These are nice because they crisscross in the front, so you can just whoop, pull your boobies out when you need it, and then you can easily just have the pad in there to cover it up, so that way nothing soaks through, which is really nice. I have two of these and they've been my favorite as my boobs have gotten bigger during pregnancy and my bras don't fit anymore. So I think I'm gonna buy another pack at Target before sooner rather than later. So I can just make sure I have enough. And then another thing I would recommend is a haka, and I had one with my second. I have no idea where it went, if I got rid of it or what, but so this is a haka, and it's basically just a silicone breast pump. And these are they do have like little stoppers that you can buy, so that way like if it falls over, your milk's not going to fall out. But these are 100% silicone, and you kind of just suction them to the boob you're not feeding on. Like you squeeze it and then it suctions. And this is the easiest way if you don't want to pump or you plan on exclusively breastfeeding. Or if you're like me and you work from home and you're kind of just home all the time, there's not really like a need to pump consistently. This is such an easy way to build up your freezer stash for milk. You will be surprised how much milk comes out the side you're not feeding on, and all of that would have just gotten soaked into your nursing pads or your bra, and instead you save it for your baby. Especially, like I said, in the beginning when your milk is first regulating, you're going to be making more milk than you need, so it's going to be very helpful to have one of these. Or like the milk, I think it's like the milk, mommy milk saver or something like that. They have different varieties of this. The haka is just the one that I've used before, so I just stuck with it. But it's super nice to have, and then you don't have any of your precious milk going to waste. So I definitely recommend a haka as well. And then another thing that I recommend that I actually don't have with me yet is it's called the After Ease tincture. I'll go ahead and put a picture somewhere on the screen. You can buy it on Amazon, and in case you didn't know, your contractions do not stop after you give birth. They keep going. And the reason for that is because your uterus is huge because you had a baby in it. And every time you feed your baby, your uterus starts contracting, so it can go back down to pre-pregnancy size. And the more kids you have, the more painful they become. They do give you ibuprofen or whatever in the hospital if you'd like some. I'm just super stubborn and I don't like taking any sort of medication. And with my second, they were pretty terrible. And I feel like I'm fine with contractions during labor because, you know, there's a reward. I see my baby, but I don't know. I feel like after you've gone through labor and delivery, the last thing you want is to continue to feel more contractions. So I have heard very good things about that tincture, so I do want to get it. And then you just add 1 to 2 drops in water. I'm sure it's not going to smell or taste very great because it's an herbal tincture, and if you guys have had herbal tinctures before, they're not great, but I have heard great things about it. So I'm very excited to have that for this postpartum and see how it works for me. We'll see how it goes. And another thing I don't have currently with me, but I heard great things about, are wearing like the Depends discreet underwear instead of using the big pads. If I'm using the boy shorts, then I don't really know if I'd be able to wear the underwear underneath the boy shorts. I mean, sure I could if I really wanted to, but yeah, so I might get a few of those just to try out, or maybe even bring to the hospital with me and just get like a small pack, and if I don't use them, it's fine. But I have heard really great things about using that instead of maxi pads. So I'm debating about whether I want to try those, and I hate wearing pads. Like, it's the worst thing in the world. I really do. I hate it. I think that's it, guys. Those are all my postpartum care must-haves. But make sure you keep drinking lots and lots of water, especially if you're breastfeeding. Breast milk is mostly water, so you want to make sure you're drinking lots and lots of water. Have lots of snacks. I'm thinking about doing like a breastfeeding, what I eat while breastfeeding video for you guys, just so you can see what I've done to help with my milk supply, and then continue taking your prenatal vitamin as well, because you want to make sure you're still getting enough adequate nutrients while you're breastfeeding your baby. And make sure you give yourself a lot of love and grace during this time. Postpartum is hard, but you just birth a whole human. So make sure you give yourself a lot of love and surround yourself with people who support you. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.